Okay, so now we can actually get out of the IDE or the code editor here, go back to our terminal, which would still be inside of the node templates directory. And what we want to do is we want to cargo run it again. So we want to build it with cargo and actually get our node up and running. So type cargo run dash dash release dash dash and then dash dash dev and hit run. This should take a little bit to build because it's going to compile the palettes that you just wrote and everything like that. It's going to recompile those parts. So give it a little bit of time and let it do its thing. And make sure you have the Substrate front-end template installed, as this will be pretty crucial going forward in testing our node. And once your node is compiled with your palettes in place, it should look something like this. It should start like this. You should see the blocks starting to populate just like we saw initially when we started without the palettes. And you should also have the front-end template installed, and we will also get that running right now. So while your blockchain is running, go into another tab in your terminal, get out of the node directory, and you want to go into the front-end one instead. Once you're inside of your Substrate front-end templates directory, you want to go ahead and you want to run yarn install if you haven't already, and if you already have, go ahead and just do yarn start and get this started. And once it is started, you should see this on your terminal with your front-end templates running, and this one should be running with your node template. So you should have your node running and your front-end running at the same time right here, just like this. And if we bring up the browser right here, this should also open up. Go to localhost 8000 in case it hasn't. You can see the blocks updating in real time. You can see account balances and things like that. You can also see where you can perform forkless upgrades to your chain. So like change the runtime on the fly, just like how we discussed earlier. And here you can also see you can transfer currency from one account to another in this front end as well. But what we really want to do is pay attention to two specific things, the palette interactor and also events. Scroll down the palette interactor and I'm going to zoom in on it just a little bit. And if we click this arrow, we can see template module pops up amongst the other palettes. You can select that, and under callables, you can actually see the function that we created in the previous videos. So register user, and this pops up all the different fields that we populated inside of our palette here. So let's go ahead and actually assign a new user. So our user's name will be Alice with an ID of 1234, and the about me is hi, my name is Alice. And click signed because this is going to be a signed transaction to the network. And as you can see, once it gets submitted on the right, the events are going to reflect that. So you can clearly see here one specific event, which is one that we defined, created a new user with this address. And if you look up here, you can see that we're actually selected as Alice here with this address right here, and it matches with this one. So actually what we want to do is copy that address. So copy that from here, and then go to query in your palette interactor. Click palettes, and then click on template module, callables, and now account to user info, which is our storage mapping if you recall. Right here, paste the address in this field, click query, and you can actually see our username and account ID and everything like that all popping up right here. It's in hexadecimal, but trust me, it says what we put before. Actually, don't trust me, go to the Polka.js Explorer from earlier and make sure it's selected to your local node. Now what you want to do is you can go to what you want to do is go to developer, chain state. And right here in selected state query, click the arrow, click template module, and now you can see our storage mapping pop up. Make sure it's selected to Alice because that's what we did right here. And go ahead and press the plus sign. Now we can see that it did the query and it returned username Alice, ID 1234, and hi, my name is Alice as the about me. So congratulations, you just stored user metadata on the blockchain using your very own custom-made blockchain module or palette using the Substrate blockchain framework.